Welcome to another episode of Eyes to Jesus. This time it's going to be New Year's with Eyes to Jesus, similar to Thanksgiving with Eyes to Jesus, but probably not as detailed in the cooking and baking since the recipes are on my blog. And my blog is at eyes2jesus.blogspot.com. So, welcome to New Year's with Eyes to Jesus. Right now it is New Year's Day and I am working on some of the, New Year's Eve Day, and I am working on some of the food for tomorrow's New Year's feast. I got some sweet potatoes going right now. Of course, I will be doing sweet potato casserole again because it is a major hit. So I have washed and peeled 4 huge sweet potatoes. Now I'm just chopping them up and putting them into a pot of boiling water. And that's usually where I start, is always getting the sweet potatoes going because they take a little while. Excuse the dishwasher going. We got to keep the dishes clean and rolling because we're doing a New Year's Eve party tonight, New Year's feast tomorrow, lots of cooking throughout the day. So dishwasher is going to be working hard today. Alright, I'm working on peach cobbler. So I got 3 cups of frozen peach slices in the bottom of this square buttered baking pan. I'm going to check my measurements. Okay. So I'm going to put 3/4 cup of white granulated sugar on top of the peaches. I'm just going to do a 1/4 measuring cup. And just pop that right on. So there's 1/4. So if you saw my Thanksgiving with Eyes to Jesus video, this is the exact same recipe as my cranberry cobbler, except I'm doing peaches instead. And this recipe is up on my blog in the sidebar under the recipes section. And it's called cranberry cobbler, but if you follow it, do peaches instead, or whatever kind of fruit you want for a cobbler, it works. Okay. Alright, and then, let's see, now I'm going to put on some nuts. About a 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. Nuts of your choice. I'm going to use slivered almonds. So I'll do 2 1/4 cups on top. This is looking so pretty. It's even prettier when you do the cranberry because of the contrast of the red. But it's pretty cool looking with the peach too. Okay, now this can be set to the side. I'm going to grab my mixer bowl. So meanwhile, my sweet potatoes are still bubbling away and cooking on the stove top. I will check them soon. Alright, in my KitchenAid mixer bowl, I need to put in a couple of eggs. So I got 2 omega-3 eggs because I like the omega-3s. Give my hands a rinse. Okay. Then we need 3/4 cup of white flour. So that's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. Okay, then a 1/2 cup of butter. You get a spoon. And a 1/2 cup of butter is a whole stick of butter. So, stick of fairly soft butter for a 1/2 cup. And I got a lot of butter out, of course. So I got a little over a pound out. Alright. I am now going to pop this in my KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to whip this and beat this well until it's nice and fluffy. And then I'm going to pop it on top of the cobbler, and then this will be ready to go into the oven, which is preheated. Meanwhile, my daughter is working on a cake. She is got 2 layers in there. She did 1 layer in pink and 1 layer in blue, so when we cut the cake open, it's going to be pretty cool looking. Now she is just getting it all covered up with some frosting, and then she's going to get out her fondant and rolling pin and food coloring and get it all decorated. My dishwasher has moved to drying and sanitation mode, so it's going to be quiet now. I added 3/4 cup of sugar to the batter mixture, popped it on top. My cobbler is going to go in a few minutes. I'm going to put it in the oven with the sweet potato casserole. Sweet potatoes are done. I drained them. I put them into my mixer bowl. Used my mixer to get them all mashed up. And now I'm going to add some ingredients and then get this going in the mixer again. So I'm going to put in a cup of white sugar, a 1/2 cup of milk, about 1/3 of a stick of butter, and about a teaspoon of real vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and a couple of beaten eggs. So that is going to go back into the mixer, and then I'm going to pop this into my casserole dish and put on the topping. Alright, so I got the sweet potato in a buttered casserole dish with all the yummies mixed in. Now I'm going to use my clean hands and I'm going to sprinkle brown sugar on top. So just like you saw me do in the Thanksgiving with Eyes to Jesus, we love sweet potato casserole. And I don't measure how much brown sugar, I just sprinkle a layer on top until it looks good. And that looks good. Now I'm going to rinse my sugary hand. Give it a little dry on my clean towel over here. Alright, and my daughter brought me over the marshmallows. You going to help me put the marshmallows on?
Yeah.
Okay, come on over.
I'm excited to grab them. It's
Yeah?
a tiny bag. Kind of just like,
now we're going to put on a whole bag of these small Jet Puffs Craft marshmallows. There you go. Alright, why don't you come on over here and you can finish putting on the rest of the marshmallows.
right.
And I am going to get ready and put in just a moment, I'm going to get the peach cobbler and the sweet potato casserole going in the oven together. They're both going to bake at 350. Alright, so I got started on the next few things. Sweet potato casserole just came out of the oven. The peach cobbler is still going for a bit. Meanwhile, I got started on broccoli marinade. This is some chopped pieces of cooked turkey bacon, some chopped onion, I did red onion, and a whole bunch of small bite-sized chopped pieces of fresh broccoli, and I believe a cup of raisins. You can get the exact measurements from my recipe on my blog. I just kind of eyeball it because I'm used to making this at least once or twice a year. This is on pause for a little bit because I need a lot of mayonnaise and I miscalculated how much I have and I don't have enough. So my husband is going to run out and buy me some mayonnaise. So I'm going to set this to the side. And so while I'm waiting on that, I getting started on the coconut custard pie. So I just put 2 cups of whole milk here in this bowl. And then to that I'm adding 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of white flour, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Alright, and let's do 4 eggs. Okay, and then before I add anything else, I'm going to get a whisk and get that mixed. You're going to want to mix it well with a whisk. My husband is awesome. My recliner broke last night, so he's been to and from the hardware store to get parts to fix it. And he just headed out the door to get the mayonnaise for me so that I can continue working on the broccoli marinade. So that's pretty cool. For a New Year's feast tomorrow, the main meat dish will be ham, and my husband will be cooking and taking care of the ham, which I love. Just like he handled the turkey for Thanksgiving, he's going to handle the ham for New Year's, so yay on that. Okay, so I got these mixed together. Now, I need about a handful of coconut flakes. This is organic, unsweetened coconut flakes. And there's about approximately a handful left in this bag, so I'm just going to put in the whole bag's worth here. And throw the stuff away. And then I'm just going to introduce that into this very liquidy mixture here. And this recipe is on my blog as well. You'll find the recipes for just about everything I'm cooking today in the left-hand sidebar of my blog at eyes2jesus.blogspot.com. So this will be under, it might be listed under chocolate custard pie because that's what I made for Thanksgiving, but it'll give the variations in there on how to make a coconut or vanilla custard pie. Okay, then we need a whole stick of soft butter. I like to put that in last. And now it's going in with the cold milk, so it's going to harden it a bit. So I'm going to break it up with my whisk and mix it around. This very liquidy mixture is going to be lumpy for two reasons. One, because there's coconut flakes in there, and two, because there's going to be little bits of butter floating around in there, and that is a-okay. Alright, now I'm going to butter a 9-inch glass pie pan to get it all greased. I'm going to pour this very liquidy, somewhat lumpy mixture into it, and I'm going to get this in the oven, 350 degrees, probably for about 50 minutes. I do not need to make a crust. This recipe makes its own crust as it bakes.
Now, I am mixing up a bunch of different colors in frosting, in rainbow colors, to make a cool design on my cake using some piping bags. So I'm going to show the colors I have so far. I'm mixing the green right now. So the red turned out to be pink, like always, with food coloring. The orange is very bright. And then the yellow is also very bright because I used those food coloring gels to make it way brighter. And right now I am mixing the green. Which is kind of hard to mix because the frosting is kind of tough. Yeah. I'm just going to do all the colors of the rainbow and pipe it out with some piping bags onto the cake in a cool design. And the green's almost done. But it's really hard to mix. There we go. There's the green. Just about finished. It's a nice light, like kind of lime green color. And then I just gotta mix up the blue and the purple.
Okay, so my cobbler just came out of the oven. My oven is ready for the next round of stuff. So now I'm going to stick in a few pies. You saw me assemble the coconut custard pie. Now I'm going to make a pumpkin pie, and then I'm going to get both of those pies going in the oven. So in my mixing bowl here, I put in 1 can of pumpkin, and to that I'm going to add a cup of evaporated milk, a ½ cup of white flour, a ½ cup of white sugar. Then I'm going to do a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Then let's pop in 2 eggs. I'm going to give my hands a rinse and a quick dry off. Okay, I'm just going to break those egg yolks up a bit. Okay, now I'm going to add in some seasoning in this ramekin. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove, and a whole teaspoon of cinnamon. So that's the seasonings of choice. Alright, now before I add anything else, I'm just going to mix this together really quick. And this will be also a liquidy pie mixture, but not nearly as liquidy as the coconut custard pie. That one is very liquidy. This one will be a bit thicker. Alright, and now that I have that mixed, I'm going to put in a heaping tablespoon of butter. Okay, and then I'm going to get that mixed in there as well. And if you saw my Thanksgiving with Eyes2Jesus, then you saw my daughter made the pumpkin pie then. She's working on that cake right now and might be making another pie in a little bit. So this time around I'm doing the pumpkin pie. I love making pumpkin pie, but I don't like pumpkin, so I don't eat it, I just make it. Alright, so now that all this is mixed together, make sure it's not lumpy, should be fairly smooth. Alright, I got a buttered 9-inch pie pan, And this is just going into the pie pan, no crust needed. This recipe of pumpkin pie does not require a crust. You most certainly could pour this into a graham cracker crust if you'd like, but it's not needed. It works out just fine without one. It somewhat makes its own crust as it bakes. And this is a pumpkin pie recipe I have been making for years and years and years, and it works. Alright, I am going to get these two pies going in the oven.
I'm setting up the piping bags for each of them, and I've already done the pink and the orange with the star tip and just a normal tip. And then for the yellow, I'm using this tip, which is funny because it's actually supposed to be used to like fill cupcakes, but I'm just using it for this. So I gotta cut off some of this and then put in the tip. There we go. I think this will work. Just barely. That's a close one. Alright. Now I'm just going to open it up. Make sure the yellow is mixed up. And spoon it in. There we go, this one's almost done. Woo. There we go. And then, I'm just going to make sure I have all the extra down. And then I'm just going to twist it.
Alright, now she is decorating the cake, and it looks like, there we go, it looks like she's chosen a really cool heart design. So that cake is coming along nicely. So my pies are in the oven. They will be done in 13 minutes or so. Meanwhile, I just put together a coffee cake that will be going in the oven next when the pies come out. And the coffee cake will be tomorrow's breakfast. I just followed a Betty Crocker recipe for the coffee cake. It's officially the recipe for the buttermilk coffee cake. I didn't have buttermilk, so I just took the milk and curdled it or soured it a bit with lemon juice, and that does the same thing. So, coffee cake will be going in the oven when the pies come out. Meanwhile, I am now finishing up with the broccoli marinade. So in this bowl here, I put in 2 cups of mayonnaise. I'm going to add to that 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm going to add to that a ½ cup of white sugar. Alright, and that is the dressing, aka the marinade, for this broccoli salad. You can usually buy broccoli salads or broccoli marinades at a lot of delis. I see them at the Walmart delis a lot. And it's okay, not bad. But this recipe that I do for the broccoli marinade, I seriously haven't found anything that has topped it. This was a recipe I found years ago on some old recipe book that I found on a computer CD, and I've modified it and tweaked it through the years, and this is what it is now. So I'm just making sure I get this mixed up very smooth. I want it to be completely mixed in there. And I love how this dressing comes out because, see, now it's all nice and almost silky. Okay, so grab my bowl. Recall that I have it of broccoli, raisins, onions, and bacon. And now I'm going to pour this deliciousness right on top. This almost rivals the sweet potato casserole in deliciousness. It's like sweet potato casserole is my favorite, but this is a very close second. So I'll make sure I get it all in there as I have everything portioned for it. Okay, now I'm going to give that a mix. And I'm going to mix this together thoroughly. I want to make sure everything in here, every bite is coated in this marinade dressing. And once I have it mixed up thoroughly, I'm going to cover this up. This needs to go in the fridge overnight to marinate, and then it will be ready for tomorrow's New Year's feast.
Alright, so This is the almost finished cake. I just made a wild and crazy heart with a bunch of smaller hearts inside with all the different piping bag stuff. And then inside I tried to pipe the words Happy New Year, but I didn't have enough. So I just did Happy NY for Happy New Year. And then I just made it was supposed to be a heart, but it turned into that at the bottom of the rest. And then in a little bit, after I take a quick break, I'm gonna decorate around it with some flower and circle shapes of fondant.
Well, I got most of my major feast preparations that I want to get done today finished. Pretty much everything I made is covered and in the refrigerator in the garage. Just got the coffee cake cooling, and that'll be covered and put into the kitchen refrigerator. My daughter is finishing up on decorating her cake. And we're running out of time, so I don't think she's going to make a pie, but she might make some cookies for tonight's party. We'll see if there's enough time. So that's where we're at right now. So I'm just doing some cleanup.
Okay, so this is the finished cake. As you can see, I used some orange and yellow to add little dots and flowers. This is my favorite. And the reason it's way more orange than yellow is because the yellow fondant was kind of too hard to use. So I only used a couple pieces of it. But I made a lot with the orange and it looks good.
Okay, now we got a little bit of time before the New Year's Eve party starts. My daughter wants to make some ginger cookies to go with the myriads of treats and junk food that our guests are bringing and that we're also setting out. So she's getting ready to do that. Dishwasher is going again. And I am taking a break, having some McDonald's. My husband had to run out and get some more stuff from the hardware store to fix my chair. He fixed it. My recliner is back in business. Yay! So that's fabulous because I'm going to use it for the for part of the party tonight when we do a watcher's party portion. So now I am taking a bit of a break, and the best way for me to relax is to work on planners. So I'm still deciding my 2017 setup. And my last purse tour, you saw I was in a classic size Boston, which is my unicorn. That's my Franklin Covey unicorn. I also have a daytimer unicorn, and that would be a teal type blue daytimer Malibu in the genuine leather with the contrast stitching and gold hardware. Yay! I got one coming. Got one from one of the planner groups. So while I'm waiting for that to arrive in the mail, I am in my red genuine leather Malibu. And I'm liking it. I might use this to start with my 2017 setup because it's thinner. I like chunky, but the thinner is easier to pull in and out of the purse. It doesn't feel as heavy. And I like the unstructured floppiness. I really like that a lot. So currently my 2017 setup is now in my Malibu. The inside is still my 2017 setup. I'm just trying to decide which cover I want to ring in the new year with, and I think it's going to be this one. But the night is young, sun isn't even set yet, so who knows, right? So yeah, I'm just playing around with my planner, hiding away in my room with the door closed, and I got to finish up the rest of my supper, which is about done, and then I gotta get the house tidied up. I gotta get myself tidied up and get ready to party. Well, we are getting ready to party. We're getting started here in a matter of a few minutes. So I am starting to set out the goodies, or goodies. There's no T in goodies. So we got our chips pyramid. We got some cookies that my daughter made. We got a candy bowl. And then we got guests bringing more food. This table is going to be covered in very unhealthy grub. Happy New Year's Eve. And let's get the party started.
I'm taking the bait. He's waiting his time until Trump comes into the office.
Yes.
Christina!
Now, here's the thing.
Roll call.
Obama's presidency has decimated the Democrat Party. They're down to only having 4 states where they've got both legislature and government.
Oh, wow.
They had like more than 50% of the states when he came in. There's only 4 states left because they've been so voted out. What he's doing now should eliminate the Jewish vote from the Democrat Party. If it doesn't, they're still voting against it. They already are, really, but this should. So here's the thing.
Oh, cool!
And in fact, I only got 2 presents.
Ooh, it's a big tray.
That one's fancy.
That's
That
awesome.
one's
Right.
Israel, dear Israel again, because
It's a last strawberry.
they're gonna, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
Because the meteor is going to save
Keep
Israel.
checking this.
And that's also, piggybacking what you're saying, that's also why we're seeing
I don't
what's
like
getting ready to
berries.
happen.
Oh.
Because
I don't like
if
berries.
the meteor shower is getting ready to happen,
Yeah.
well then you've got to also have the alignment of the prophecies.
Yes. Yes.
Of them going
Yeah.
You seem to go ahead and open. So that also says that probably on January 15th, they're going to go ahead and pass that to forcibly force
Yes,
Israel to
I think
be
so.
divided.
Exactly.
And
Yeah, they were.
No, you totally photoshopped that.
Cheers! Happy New Year!
Wow, it has an interesting.
Did you hear us
twang.
talking to the coyotes outside? They're all howling back.
Oh. It's so cute.
Okay, but yours is non-alcoholic like the kids. You guys have the sparkling grape juice.
She
Only
loves
us
it.
grown-ups who want it get the champagne. Yeah, no champagne for you, just sparkling cider like the kids.
Peace.
Or Matthew 6, excuse me.
And the necessities of life will be.
And all these things shall be added unto you, the things that you need, not necessarily the things that you want.
And it's not necessarily going to be about what you see going on right now, as far as the
Yes.
earth. Because
Through altar, which is fashioned against us, be destroyed in the name of Jesus. Lord, we let the anointing for spiritual breakthroughs fall upon us in the name of Jesus.
now, should we be saying this all together? Or?
I'm saying.
See you later.
All right, see you later.
Bye!
All right.
The dog said bye.
Those was my blessing. Okay, if you think that was a good.
is New Year's Day. We stayed up pretty late last night. We all slept in. My husband's got the ham going in the oven. I just pulled out the coffee cake out of the fridge that I made yesterday. And I'm going to cut it into squares and serve it. And we're going to have some coffee cake for New Year's breakfast. And here we are. This is the feast lineup, round one. We've got sweet potato casserole. We got some sweet Hawaiian rolls. We got the broccoli marinade. We got cranberries. And we've got the ham. And the children are setting the table. And we also got our sparkling ciders to drink. We got 2 white grape, 2 red grape, a cranberry, a blueberry cranberry. And for the grown-ups, we got some champagne left over from last night. And we are getting ready for round one of the New Year's feast.
Wow, it's stuck. Oh, it's cold.
Ooh, you do those dishes, baby. Oh yeah, video proof. I got the perfect husband. Hello and Happy New Year. We did some basic cleanup. We are all way too full to have dessert, so we will be doing that later, of course. We're getting ready to do a bit of an outing, and then when we get back, we'll probably be ready for dessert. Meanwhile, planner update. I rang in the new year last night in my beautiful desk-size Franklin Covey Boston. Planner tours coming up soon. Will I be in the Boston, a Malibu, the Bella, or something else? I guess we'll wait and see. Well, we are back from running a few errands and going out for a little bit, and we are ready for feast round 2, which is the dessert round. So I will show you the dessert lineup for our New Year's feast. Okay, here we go. So we got pumpkin pie. We got coconut custard pie. We got peach cobbler. And then we got this beautiful cake that my daughter made. Pretty cool. And that is our dessert lineup for New Year's. Well, it is the night of New Year's Day, and we are stuffed. We just finished round 2 of the feast, the desserts. It was a very good day, very good start to the new year. Happy 2017, Happy New Year. We're going to clean up, and then we're considering renting a movie and just taking it easy and relaxing tonight. A few more celebrations coming up this month for us. My birthday is this month, and also we are going to make a special day of it and celebrate January 20th when Trump takes office, because we are very excited about that. So if you're looking for an excuse to celebrate, some more this month, January 20th is your day.